So in this video, I'm going to show you how to convert this old tub valve that's a tub only two-handle into a shower bathtub combination with the new style single lever volume control shower bathtub valve. And so this one doesn't have a shower head. We're going to be adding one, and I'll show you how to do that and convert this without even breaking tile to make it new and look like this. So I'm working with my dad on this project, and he is going to be removing all of this old bathtub trim to get started. So we're going to be installing this Moen retrofit kit here, which is just this large flange that's going to allow us not to break the tile and have to replace the tile in a large area. We're not going to have to replace any of it. So this flange just kind of sits over those the hole right there, and it'll cover those old holes there. And so they give us a template for this, and the template, if you just pop out these little holes here, slides over the two handles, and I'll show you what this is about. There's another center hole in here that we will also have to pop out, and that is exactly where our new valve is going to be placed here. So this cover plate is going to be covering those old handles there, and it's going to sit in here like that. So what you want to do now is make sure that this template is nice and level just by visually eyeing it out, and then we'll mark with a Sharpie or marker the hole in the center, and this is where our new valve is going to sit. And so now we have a drill with a masonry bit, and we're just drilling around this black mark that we marked for our valve. Another way we could have done this is we could have made a hole in the tile almost as big as the entire flange, the metal flange, but because we have drywall on the reverse of this wall, we're just going to make this small hole here and work from the back side. Once we've drilled around the hole, I'll grab a hammer and a chisel, and I'll just quickly finish it up, attaching all those holes as one, and knock out the rest. Next, we can cut that wire out. Next, I've taken a measurement of the valve height and marked it on the wall here, and we're cutting open to access the valve. This is not necessary, it just makes it easier if you do have this option of drywall on the other side. Next step is to remove the old shower valve with a combination of tools, like our wrench there, our sawzall here, and it'll be nice if you have a rag and small tubing cutters like that one. So now this is what it looks like from the shower side, and we'll just finish cutting out some more of this wire here. So this is what the rough shower valve looks like when it comes in the box, and that black flange, the plastic flange here, is for new home remodeling there, and so we're not going to really use it. You would tile up to that front part right there if you had no tile, but we do have tile, so I'm going to be sticking this whole valve from that back side. Alright, so we're just about ready to get our copper tubing inside of the brass shower valve here. But first thing that I want to show you is I've taken out the cartridges and the integral stops, which are just the stops that you can shut off the shower valve in case you need to replace the cartridge. And there's the cartridge, and I've taken it out because if you solder the valve with this the cartridge in there, you can ruin that valve, and that's the only reason. So there is the valve, and that's just removed by that little clip I'll show you real quick right here. It slides all the way back in there, and the clip sits in that brass little groove right there. Pull it out, and then you pull the cartridge out, and then you're ready to solder it up. And I will also do the same for the integral stops. Just pop that clip out and remove those two side things if your valve has these integral stops. Alright, so just take a look at your valve. Most of them are labeled up and down, and make sure you get it the correct way, and the left and right's the correct way. Alright, so let's get this valve in, and we've taken a measurement from the center of that hole, from that stud on the right side to the center of the hole. And we're going to mark the lower hole where the tub spout's going to go to at the same marking, which is about 6¼ or so. Then we've taken a little nipple and just stuck it in there, not soldered in yet, and put it in there to get our straight line. Now we're going to take a measurement from that left side pipe to where it's going to slide into the valve on that one. Cut that piece, and then we'll be ready to solder that one in. Alright, so as you can see, I've got my hot and my cold, which is on the left and the right there, all measured and just kind of stuck in place there. There's no flux or anything, it's not soldered in yet. And my lower bathtub spout also is just kind of pushed in there. And I don't have this secured with anything yet. I've just got it kind of hanging there, and the only way it's balancing is just by my risers, which are the hot and the cold ones coming up into there, and it's just kind of hanging freely right now. And I do that on purpose so later I can get an exact measurement, an exact setting where I want that valve to lay in its permanent place, and then we'll strap it down. So that's what it looks like. And I do not have I've got the bathtub lower spout in right now, and we can make some adjustments like that, but I do not have the upper shower head in quite yet. We'll get that, but that's the lower bathtub. That's where I'll have a small pipe sticking out into the bathtub. And so there's where the upper shower head will go, and we'll get that in a second. And so this is what it's going to look like from the front side. So now we're ready to get our shower head in, our upper shower head, and I want it the exact same line as my lower shower tub spout and the shower valve, the center one right there. So I'm going to take a measurement, and it's got about 12 inches or so off of from the tile wall to the center of that lower bottom spout. And so I'm going to make a mark 12 inches or so, whatever that measurement is, from that lower one, that side tiled wall to the tile right there. And I want to go up a little past the tile, so I'm going to take a level and just mark it on the wall, because that left wall is going to be a different measurement there if I take my measurement off the drywall. So I just made a little mark, got a little level, and putting my next mark up on top to make this shower head a nice comfortable height. I like them a little taller than most people put them these days. So after my mark here, I'll just take a Sharpie or a marker of some sort and mark the shower arm, which comes in this kit, my Moen rough valve kit, and I'll just make it mark there, and this is where I'm going to put a hole in the wall. Next, put a hole in the wall where we've marked. Now I'll take a bronzed wing elbow, which is this little fitting here, and I'm putting flux on it so I can solder it onto my copper pipe. And this is for my shower head riser. This is the inside the wall, my shower head. Oh, this is what's feeding the shower head, this pipe here. And then we'll be able to screw the shower arm onto that bronzed wing elbow. So once the bronzed wing elbow is soldered on, we can take that measurement from our hole on the other side of the um, room in the bathroom, right there, to the bottom of the valve and solder that piece on. And I'm just in fast forward mode so you guys don't have to deal with a bunch of boring stuff here. Now we can screw our shower arm onto the bronze wing elbow, like so. And at this point, I like to do the strapping, and there are many different types of straps. This one is called a hook-on-hook strap, and those are those plastic things right there with the metal brackets, and so it just holds it in nicely. Now we're ready to get our cartridge back in place because there is no more soldering that we have to do. So just follow the instructions, and this is pretty simple. Hot's on the left, cold's on the right there. Push it in place as far as it can go, and this one is for, of course, this valve, the Moen shower valve here. Now we can get our flange together. Followed your specific shower's directions for getting the flange on and the rest of the shower trim, you can put the lower bathtub spout on. And there are a few different styles. This one is a very easy style where it's just locked in with an Allen set screw. And that just simply slides onto our predetermined length of a nipple, which is in your specific shower trim's directions, and then simply tighten that thing down with that. It looks like that on the back side. I'm just showing you. Don't screw it in that way. Screw it in where it is nice and level on the front there. And we are through. This is what your new conversion of your multi-handled shower valve to the single lever shower valve will look like.